Hello, today I'm doing How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. For part 4, Be a Leader, How to Change People Without Giving Offense or Arousing Resentment. Let's get this started with. Alright, right now we have 9 principles are hello, niece and nephew. It's Uncle Roger. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm not Uncle Roger. I just like to say this because I like those YouTubers. It's pretty fun. Okay, so first of all, you actually have to be a leader sometimes. Like, a leader's job often includes you're going to have to, like, change your people's perspectives, attitudes, and behaviors. Not harshly so, but here are actually suggestions to actually accomplish this. This part here, is actually just a bunch of suggestions to actually accomplish that. So, firstly, our first principle is that you actually have to begin with praise and honest appreciation. That's actually pretty hard to do because lots of people actually, once they see the negatives, they just want to throw it out. However, even if you write it out, let the steam off. Before you send it, just go ahead and think what would be the consequences of that. Once you realize what the consequences of that will be, just go ahead and stop thinking about it. Okay, our second principle is you actually have to call attention to that person's mistakes indirectly. Once you actually have to call attention to that person's mistakes indirectly, you're just gonna have to say, like, when a person, like, there's this preacher who wrote a speech, and then when he read it to his wife is like, that sounds too bland. It's just not a speech. It might be an article. It's not a speech. And she's like, hey, that would be pretty good for like the that's a pretty good family. It could fit in well with the capitalist era. And I just made up a magazine name. And then the preacher's like, oh, that means it's too formal. It's not human-like. And he goes ahead, rips his perfectly practiced and revised a script and wings the speech. Wings it. Without anything. Without any notes. No notes. And he does it perfectly. Sounds like he got a A+. Alright. Our third principle is you actually have to go ahead and talk about your own mistakes before you criticize the other person. You have to be humble about yourself too. If you realize you've done the same mistake when you were their job and you were their age, and you realize they actually did a better job at it than you, then you just have to go ahead and say your thing too. Saying, yeah, I did the mistake too. Also, I did it more horrible than you did. Those kind of things. Like, you have to go ahead and talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Like, remember that scene in the Super Mario Bros. Movie? He's like, how many attempts did it take you? And he asked Peach, like, how many attempts did it take you to pass it? And Peach's like, yeah, it took me way worse than you. And Mario's like, you did it on the first try, didn't you, Peach? And Peach's like, I did it on the first try. Weird. Alright. Personally, I actually beat Mario. I beat 5 worlds from Mario in the first try. Alright. Okay, so next you have to actually, our fourth principle is you have to ask questions instead of giving literal direct orders. You're not a general, you're a leader, and generals are technically leaders, but unless you're in the army, you actually have to go ahead and ask questions. And also, it's highly suggested to generals to actually use the principle because screaming at people will probably hate the army and make people not go into the army. You have to ask questions and they're giving direct. What do you think about this? Like, kind of make suggestions. Alright, also our fifth principle is you have to let the other person save face. Let them have their own honor. Let them have their own days and those kinds of things. Our sixth principle, I keep saying root, is that you have to praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. You have to praise it every time. If you got a 1 in your criteria B summatives in IB, and then you go ahead to 3 in the next test, criteria B test, then you go ahead, praise the person. Then if it goes to a 4, yay. If it goes back to a 3, like, good. If he goes to a 5, yay. If he suddenly goes to an 8, you're like, what the hell just happened? Let's have a party, everyone! Those kind of things. Praise it, improve it, and be a hearty approbation and lavish in your praise. Make them a reward. Like, if you got this, if you got perfect score, you get 5 hours of gaming time per week, and like, yay! And now it's gone. So I think I know why I pretty much think I know why I don't do tests well anymore. My brain doesn't think there's a reward anymore that I had when I was 7, and now that reward is banned, I'm actually kind of hating it. Alright, our seventh principle is you have to give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. You know their reputation, let them live up to their reputation. Our eighth principle is you have to use encouragement. You have to make the fault seem easy to correct. Make it easy. Like, make it look easy, and then it'll technically be easy. Make studying look easy, and then I'll do it, and it'll be easy, and it'll be fun. Our ninth principle is you have to make the other person happy about the things you actually suggest. Make the other person like what you're suggesting and let them do it at their choice. Like, you suggest them, apologize if someone already has been rude, and go ahead and make them actually try to like yours. Not by forcing them, of course, but persuade them. That's it. That's how to win friends and influence people. Hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Sean out. Peace. And until next time, bye-bye nieces and nephews. This is Uncle Sean. Bye-bye. Wear a darn helmet, you hear me? I am maybe Asian, but I'm still less than 18 years old, but wear a helmet. Even I know to wear a helmet. Bye.